Jimmy Butler, he's a very interesting player to me.
He's like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go with the ball because I haven't been able to think.
It was a great series. Game 4 was one of the best games I've ever watched in my entire life. Now LeBron's a 4-time champion, and Anthony Davis gets his first.
It's unacceptable. So happy when the Astros lost because it would definitely be a 2020 thing.
Yeah, I was impressed by their game. Braden Point, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov, that was the best line in the playoffs, no doubt.
Stay undefeated when they face the mighty Cowboys with Garrett Gilbert.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared Sandler, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. I'm joined by the man that this guy was not our number one for our list. Actually, maybe he was, but a guy that got fired, wasn't expecting it. Robert Saleh, the man that I'm sure knows roughly where he was on his list. Austin.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked, especially Kevin, because their defense has been playing extremely well. The Vikings had been one of the better offensive teams the past couple weeks, and they were shut down offensively. Sam Darnold didn't even throw a touchdown pass. It really was the pick six that Rodgers threw that really kind of doomed the Jets in that game. I kind of feel like he's the scapegoat. I mean, I think that especially for the GM that ended up signing some bad guys and making trades at like the Hassan Reddick where they can't even get him signed or get him on the field, I should say, which is because they haven't signed him long term. I don't know. It seems like there's other stuff you could have done. Saleh's a defensive guy. And well, yes, he's the head coach and he's responsible for a lot of other things besides defense. He was doing his job, in my opinion.
Yeah, the season did not warrant his firing mid-season. I would have looked at it at the end. Maybe he gets fired, but he's just struggled offensively. However, to me, this mid-season firing just shows sort of the disconnect that Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers had.
I don't even know if it's that. It just seems like panic to me. It seems like panic from the front office that is like, we don't know how much time we're going to have with Rodgers, and they just panic.
That is one way to look at it. Apparently, there are reports that Robert Saleh wanted to look at firing Nathaniel Hackett before he was fired. To me, it's Saleh's getting blamed for the offense, which is a result
Not
of
his
what
job.
Rodgers. Yeah,
not his job.
And
just like Belichick with the Patriots, the offense was never his job.
And it's Rodgers' fault because that's the offense he wants, and it's not performing well. So to me, this is just an effect of giving Rodgers the keys to the franchises, and it's not going well. So you're going to first
because
fire
Rodgers didn't want Hackett.
Yeah, he wanted Hackett, and Hackett to me doesn't really. I think Hackett just does what Rodgers wants, and
I think when Hackett was the OC for the Packers, it was LaFleur's offense. It wasn't Hackett's. But also, Rodgers doesn't look like he has chemistry with Garrett Wilson. He looks like he has some chemistry with Lazard. His connection with Lazard has been good. But if we're talking about Garrett Wilson, the star receiver on the team, besides last week, it's been a struggle between those two getting together. So I don't think this was the right decision. I think Saleh goes down as one of the guys that has gotten fired recently that I'm like, if a team picks him up, I think they're getting someone that's really good because he's so good as a defensive coordinator. Again, it's not entirely off of him. He definitely is responsible for some of it, but the defense played amazing against the Vikings. It's played amazing this year. They have not been the problem.
Yeah, to me, he definitely deserves a shot as a second head coach. I would love to see what he does or just the offense under him as head coach. It's not his main thing as he's great with defense, but to me, there is the question of does he choose the right guys with offense?
I don't know if he had control over that.
Yeah,
his GM, the guy above him, traded for Rodgers, and Rodgers demanded Hackett. So it's not his fault.
But you also have before then, you have the Zach Wilson, and then I know he
didn't draft Zach Wilson.
I thought 4 years ago, Zach Wilson still on his rookie contract.
question.
I want to think, but there are also
The GM is the one that makes the choices. The GM is the one who signs guys, who decides to make trades, and I would say that almost none of them have worked out besides a guy like Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner.
Yeah. So the thing is, right now, he did have Mike LaFleur, but then they changed that for Nathaniel Hackett. I am looking at Robert Saleh, because in 2019, so he.
It was his first year, but I doubt you
was-
give a rookie head coach that much play in your first pick. Again, I am full in blame for the GM. Joe Douglas has been there since 2019. He's made a much bigger impact to what this team has come out to be than Saleh.
Yeah. So there is that. I would like to see him with an established quarterback and a coordinator, because Mike LaFleur, to me, is the jury's still out. I don't think he's gotten another offensive coordinator job. I believe he's with the Rams right now.
He's the Rams OC.
Oh, he's the Rams OC. Okay.
So he was the Rams OC this last year as well when they made the playoffs. And he's been there this year. I don't know if I really blame Mike LaFleur for this season, because you have Kupp hurt and Puka hurt, and seems like their tight end Tyler Higbee's been out all year because of what happened last year in the playoffs. But LaFleur led a team to the playoffs last year on a good offense. They were top 10 points last year. So I just think this is passing blame, and I hate when coaches get fired for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
and I think this was for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's just the way the league is going right now. His offense doesn't produce results, even though he delivered on his defense no matter what.
His defense has been top 5 multiple seasons.
Yeah. So he's a guy, I don't think he gets a head coaching job immediately. I think he gets a defensive coordinator job, then goes to head coaching.
I could see either way.
Yeah.
His defense is so good that it would warrant another chance immediately.
Yeah, I'm just curious on who would do that, who would make that decision. And we'll just have to see. But I don't rule him out as a future head coach. I would like to see it, depending on where he goes.
Yeah, again, he doesn't control offense. And while it definitely is his job to sign guys, when he can't choose his OC, it's hard to blame him. For the Michael LaFleur, you can give some blame to Saleh at some points, sure. But I give no blame these past 2 seasons with Hackett. He didn't have the choice. The GM traded for Rodgers. Rodgers demanded Hackett. That's not on Saleh. I don't know how you blame any part of the offense. He has no control over it. It's all run by Rodgers and Hackett.
Well, that's the problem to me, is he should, as head coach, have control.
No, but Rodgers, who was, again, not brought in by him, brought in by the GM, has to be given that control. Sure. I think the organization feels like they owe it to Rodgers.
I do feel like they owe it. To me, that would go to just him not having control, because to me, I view GM and owner as a partnership. But if I'm sure he was like, yes, I'll take Rodgers. Didn't like Zach Wilson. But there is that power imbalance, which to me, this is what he's getting blamed for. Even though, as you mentioned, he didn't really have control over the offense. They gave it to Rodgers.
And I don't blame Saleh for not having control over the offense. I don't think Belichick had much control over the Patriots offense. And that's not a bad thing.
To me, they don't have a lot of input, but they know what guys to choose. And
I disagree. I think that it was Brady, because if you look at every OC that was there for Brady's tenure, they did poorly everywhere else. O'Brien, McDaniels. It's not been. It was Brady that was doing it. I don't think that Belichick was too. Again, I don't know if you know this, but during the 2015 AFC Championship against the Broncos, it was Patriots Broncos. It was 20-12. Patriots were down. It was a 4th and 10. McDaniels wanted to call a screen pass. Brady heard it and said, we're not doing that, and called the vertical route, the go route to Gronk and got the first down, ended up scoring a touchdown that didn't get the 2-point conversion, whatever. It was Brady running the offense. It was getting the right quarterback, and that's what the Jets tried to replicate here, but it just doesn't work every time. There's not everyone is Brady.
Yeah, there's that point. To me, at the beginning, it was Belichick, but then he was like, "There's that. At least, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all run it." But to me, you got to choose which guys, and they chose wrong. I think right now with Rodgers and just letting him run the offense because it's not an offense.
Well, it's not him running the offense; it's almost Rodgers running the team.
Yeah, it's getting to that, which speaks to the lack of control. But I do think Saleh is a part of that, just letting it get out of
control.
Control
Comes from top down, though. I feel like this is just the GM is supposed to be above the head coach. It's supposed to be a pseudo partnership and all that, but again, if there's a systemic issue, it starts at the top.
Yeah. So this is just, I think we've covered it. It's really just what the Jets have put themselves into, and it's sad that I think a good coach got in trouble for something that was given that he lost control of. Given
the fault his, yes, but I feel like more people there are people that are more at fault than him that were not punished.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. He has a part to blame in his coaching tenure, but there are other people that are not suffering the consequences.
Yes, I believe that Saleh is on the list of people responsible, but his name is not at the top.
Yeah, and we can talk about who's at the top once the season's over, or we can do it now.
Well, I wanted to ask you. So they hired an interim head coach. Do you think that they sign a new head coach this season, or stick with the interim?
I would be surprised. I think they're going to go interim. I am surprised on the interim it wasn't Nathaniel Hackett. I'm like, okay, Nathaniel Hackett's going to get named interim head coach.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was
the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Jeff Ulbrich.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you think that he ends the season as the head coach?
Yeah, because kind of what we're viewing the situation as, it's really Rodgers' team and it's just the face.
Even with the names that are available.
To me, it'd be tough in the NFL. Well, actually, we have seen this before with Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
I could see it, but to me, if you bring in a guy, you're just going to be like, there's still that lack of control that Saleh was facing. And to me, naming an interim guy just lets Rodgers still have the power and not really have to answer for the decisions throughout the season.
Okay. We'll see. I do think they're going to sign someone. I don't know necessarily who. I could see it being another defensive guy. But I could see. I think they will. I think they will.
That would definitely be something, and we'll keep you updated on that. I'll let Austin close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know what you guys think about this firing. Am I wrong? Is it on Saleh? Should he have been fired? Or is it on other people? And if so, which people do you think it's on? Thank you guys for listening.